Good morning, friends, and happy Monday. It's time for another Story Time with Miss A, brought to you by the Northeast Branch of Reading Public Library. Today we're reading a book brought to us with permission from Simon Schuster, and it is Jules versus the Ocean by Jessie Sima. So what do you see on the front cover? We see a person, maybe that's Jules, and we see the ocean behind her. So it says Jules versus the ocean. So maybe they're in some sort of competition. What do you think? What do you think our title could mean for our story? Well, let's find out. And we start with these beautiful end papers here in pink. And what do we see all over the end papers? Well, I see things that we might have at the beach by the ocean. So I see a beach ball, buckets and shovels for sand. We have little boogie boards, hats, sunglasses, suntan lotion, seashells, flip-flops, all sorts of things you'd associate with the beach and the ocean. It says Jules versus the Ocean by Jessie Sima. And we see Jessie and her family walking to set up a spot at the beach. Jules is going to make the biggest, fanciest, most excellent castle that has ever been built. Her sister will be so impressed. So here's her very cool older sister walking away to go surf or scoot around on her boogie board. And here is Jules. She's ready with her bucket to make a sandcastle, and she really wants to impress her sister. Says she wants to make the best, biggest, fanciest sandcastle, and maybe the ocean will help. So she sets up her sandcastle with her bucket right next to the wave. Have you ever made a sandcastle right next to a wave? What do you think would happen when that wave of water hits the sand? Well, splash. Nope. So did the ocean help with her sandcastle? Nope, like she says, we see just a little lump there where her castle used to be, and it was splashed over by the wave. So the wave knocked it down, spread out all the sand. She says that's okay. Jules will build an even bigger, fancier, more excellent castle all by herself. Her sister will be so impressed. So she has 2 buckets now, but do you think they're far away enough from the ocean? You see that wave there? Yeah, I don't think they're far away enough. Let's see, and slush. What happened? The wave knocked over the sandcastle again. It says Jules thinks the ocean might be out to get her. Her sister assures her that this happens to everyone. So let's look at Jules's face. Do you think she's happy? No, her face looks like, when do you make that face? Maybe when you're sad, you're angry, you're disappointed. So yeah, does she feel good or bad? She feels very bad that the ocean keeps knocking down her sandcastle. So she had this happen. Now she looks around, and what do you see? Kids are building the biggest, fanciest sandcastles that we have ever seen. Yeah, so I don't think she's very happy. Now, do you think in real life this would happen? No, but when we're not doing very well at something, sometimes it feels like everyone else is doing a good job. And we feel very sad about what we're doing. And I think that is what Jules is experiencing right now. Well, it says if Jules wants to make the biggest, fanciest, most excellent castle, she will need to keep an eye on that ocean. So she's putting those buckets of sand right next to the water again. She's picking up a pretty seashell. She's looking at the wave, and what do you think will happen? Slap! Not today, ocean. Enough is enough. Jules will not be pushed around. She will stand her ground. So this is very similar to the picture on the front page. It's time for Jules versus the ocean. You know, she doesn't want to move her sandcastle. She just wants to build it and not let the ocean destroy it. So what do you think she'll do? What would you do? While she's waiting for the water, just standing there, just wait. Where are her feet? It's a trap! No! So she stood in the water, and what happened? She got buried in the sand. Now, this isn't just happening to Jules because they're battling. If you've ever stood at the ocean, stood where the waves go, you'll see that you slowly sink into the sand. And that's because as the tide pulls away from the shore, it carries the sand away and then brings it sort of back. So as it erodes and moves, your feet will sort of sink underneath the sand. Oh, but also, bucket! The ocean has pulled away her sand bucket. How is she supposed to build a castle now? How is Jules supposed to build the biggest, fanciest, most excellent castle now with no bucket and no hope? Her sister says the ocean isn't doing this on purpose. What do you think? Is the ocean doing it on purpose, or is Jules just having a bad day? This is the ocean isn't doing it on purpose. Maybe she's right. And who needs a bucket? So what's happening now? Jules' older sister is helping her build a sandcastle. Do you think they'll be more successful this time? Let's see. But Jules cannot believe it. Her sister is so impressed. Look at that big, gorgeous sandcastle. And I want to point something out here. Did you see this, friend, at the bottom? They've dug a moat. M-O-A-T, moat. Do you know what a moat is? A moat is usually filled with water. It's dug down. And what do you think will happen when the tide goes into the moat? Well, the water's supposed to go into the moat, but uh-oh. Let's look ahead. Look at that gigantic wave. Could we be in trouble? Well, before that wave hits, they're dancing around. It says this is definitely the biggest, fanciest, most excellent. Uh-oh. Crash! So that moat would have taken care of little tides, but a big wave like that, what do you think happened to the sandcastle? Well, that was most excellent. So what happened? Even though the castle's destroyed, most likely, we don't find out, they had so much fun together. And really that's what hanging out at the beach is all about, having time to spend with your family and friends and having a good time, not about building the best sandcastle. They tell their mom all about the castle and how the ocean wanted to smash it. So this is actually what happened to their sandcastle there. Mom assures them that it happens to everyone. Mom explains how the ocean's waves are controlled by lots of things, mostly the moon. And that's true. So our waves on Earth, our currents, are because of our relationship with our planet to the moon. The next time, Jules and her sister will have to keep an eye on the moon. The end. All right, friends, so I hope you liked this week's story. Make sure to pick up a Go Pack at Northeast Branch. It will have a cute little island beach-themed craft. It's super simple. There are instructions in the bag. And I'll see you next Monday for another story time with Miss A. Bye, friends.